Kate, so nice to meet you. This is a true honor. How are you today?
I'm good. Nice to meet you too. What did you say you're called? Film girl, did you say?
DC Film Girl, so the Washington, D.C.
Fantastic.
area in Baltimore. Thank you, Kate. I
Fantastic.
appreciate it.
Good for
Yes,
you.
so I have been wanting to chat with you since I first saw this film last year at the world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. My friend and I saw it, and we were just left floored. So I'm so excited for audiences to finally get to see your performance in this. After watching this film and learning about Lee, Lee just wasn't a trailblazer for women in photojournalism. She was a trailblazer for photojournalism, period.
Yes.
And I know how involved you are in stepping into your character's shoes. So, how do you now view combat photography and photojournalism after now stepping into Lee Miller's shoes?
Well, I wanted to make the film because I could see that history had defined Lee somewhat incorrectly. She was viewed through the male gaze. I'd Google her and it would say ex-lover and muse of Man Ray, former cover girl, ex-Vogue model. We like to put labels on women that we just simply don't put on men, but these labels had kind of stuck to her. And although there was some literature about Lee and the work that she did as a photographer, because there had been no film made about her and she hadn't been brought back to life, I was concerned that the world may never really know just what it was that she did in going as a woman at a time when women were not permitted to go into male-dominated spaces, and how she documented the victims of the atrocities of the Nazi regime, how she bore witness. She was that visual voice for them to make sure that their stories were told. And so the way I feel about the world of female war correspondents, I am just filled with admiration and pride. But were it not for Lee being one of very, very few early female war photographers, it's a role that perhaps may not exist in the way that it does now. It is a crucial role. And I believe that the way she saw the victims, she wasn't photographing the soldiers or the bloodshed or the fighting. She was looking behind the curtain and seeing those women and children, watching those female collaborators getting their heads shaved and being shamed and ridiculed in the street. And she was locking eyes with those people and telling their stories. And I think we're seeing that now in a way that is incredibly important, because otherwise we may not have access to the truth that is so often hidden from view.
Yeah, absolutely. And that you did a beautiful job showing how Lee brought the truth to the public, literally putting her life on the line. Well, I also love in your career how you've always been a champion for women behind the camera as well. It's so lovely that you got to work with Ellen again here as a director, of course, Little Chaos and Eternal Sunshine. Was that always important to you to have a female director bring Lee's story to life?
Yeah, it was critical, really. I mean, there was just no way, after the 5-year development process that had happened already with myself and my two female co-writers, Liz Hannah and Marion Hume, they were just so terrific, and I just knew energetically that it wouldn't have made sense, I don't know, morally, to make a film about a woman that's so important and significant. It wouldn't have made sense ever to consider going to a male director. And so having Ellen, who, of course, her career as a cinematographer, meant that her skill set in visual storytelling was a big part of who she was, in the way that visual storytelling was a huge part of who Lee Miller was. And that was the thing that drove her through life. And so it just made sense. It just made sense to have Ellen with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And she brought the story to life, beautifully. They are giving me the rap, Kate. I would chat with you all day about Lee, but I'm so excited for audience finally see this film in theaters where it should be seen. And if you and Jude, Cameron, and Jack all got together for the holiday too, myself and the rest of the world, we would be here for it.
Okay. Noted. Noted. Thank
and we
you.
love what you do with the Golden Hat Foundation, Kate. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Bye.
Thank you. What a sweet woman.
I sort of heard Andy sing a little bit of Baltimore when I came on.
One of my faves. Great song.
Yes, yes. Well, Andrea and Andy, so nice to meet the two of you, and congratulations on this film. I've seen this film twice now. I first saw it a year ago at the world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, and it was my favorite film of the festival. So excited to be chatting with the two of you today.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for watching twice.
Yes, of course. Andy, one of the best scenes in the film is when David and Lee do the photograph of Lee in Hitler's bathtub when David takes the photo of her. And then he has a very emotional kind of breakdown after. As an actor, how do you get into the mindset of playing David in those particularly emotional moments?
Yeah, that was a new experience for me. I have to credit both Kate and Ellen for encouraging me to like take space to be sort of alone before doing those scenes and like partitioning off an area for me and stuff. And you try to just go inward a little bit and think about how heavy it really all is. And it's not something that is, it's something I've thought about a lot in my life already. So it wasn't hard to access.
Yeah.
And you sort of put the weight of all of those horrible things having occurred on your own shoulders, and then you kind of just let it happen.
Yeah. Well, it was a really, really beautiful performance and unlike anything I've seen you do so far in your career. Andrea, for you, I loved you and Kate working together in The Regime. Obviously, here you're playing kind of a different dynamic, playing her boss, her editor in Vogue. So how fun was that, just playing those two different dynamics where she's kind of your boss in The Regime, yet you're her boss here in Lee?
Yes, I hadn't actually thought about it like
I
that.
hadn't either, but that's so true.
But we actually shot this first. So we shot because of the strike, the film took longer to come out than we had first realized it would. But The Regime was shot afterwards. So yes, I went from being her higher up in the ranks to then picking up her crumbs beneath the table. And I felt much more comfortable with the crumbs, probably. It felt like far more like, life reflecting, art reflecting, like, what is it?
Oh, pish posh.
Anywho, Audrey was a really, really interesting, wonderful character. So I felt so fortunate to get to know her myself, because I was so familiar with Lee, but not familiar with Audrey Withers at all, and to find out how she really was the bridge. She bridged. How can I use this bridge?
There's a bridge in there.
There's a bridge. Look, there was a bridge.
She played bridge on a bridge.
There was bridge. There was Audrey, and then there was a bridge, and there was the world, and then on somewhere along there, Lee needed to get a message out, and Audrey was instrumental.
Perfect.
Crushed it.
Andrea, great job. Yes, I was like, absolutely perfect.
Hair flick.
Well, they are giving me the wrap. Again, congratulations to the two of you. And Andy, I have to say, I saw you in The Lonely Island in concert in Brooklyn years ago.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I still to this day say it's the most fun I've ever had at a concert. I
Thank
was
you
front
so
row.
much.
I am a style boy for life. I need you guys to have fun.
Thanks so much. That's awesome.
Yes, appreciate you both. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.